before I start the video today, I just wanted to do a brief introduction and just tell you about myself just a little bit. My name is Sarah Louise, or Blessed Louise. I'm a mom to 3 kids. I'm a wife. I'm a Christian. I live in Georgia in the United States, but I'm actually from Nigeria, born and raised. I moved to America when I was 17. And I've been here for, can I do math? A little while. I'm 32 right now. I wanted to tell you guys just a little bit about me. I also wanted to tell you about my channel, why I started this channel. I've wanted to have a YouTube channel for at least 10 years, maybe longer. And I would shoot videos, I would record, I would edit, I would do everything, sometimes even upload, but I would not publish them. And I don't know why. A lot of it had to do with fear, shame, anxiety, feeling like I didn't have anything worth saying. I don't know. But I felt like I feel like God prompted me over the last couple of months to go ahead and start and to do it fearlessly, to do it without regard of other people, but to do it because he wanted me to, because he had things he wanted me to share, because I have a story to share, I have testimonies, I have a message, and I have submitted myself. I'm allowing God to use me. I'm being obedient to the call he has on my life, and that's how we ended up here. I feel like I might need to do like a get to know me tag or something later. I don't really know. Maybe I'll do it after this video, just so you guys have a better understanding of who I am. But anyway, the reason I'm doing this video today is because I have a story I wanted to share about a time where the Holy Spirit gave me some information, just as a way to protect me and protect those around me. So it all started when I was in college. I used to work at a bank, and I was a teller, and I was on the teller line. We had one of those locations that had the bulletproof glass, and so there were protocols that we were taught in the event of a robbery or anything. We were told if we didn't have to comply, we could just duck down, hit the alarms, or we could comply. It was really up to our discretion based on the situation. If they brandished a weapon, things like that, if they were threatening others. Anyway, I'm going too deep into things I don't even remember clearly. What I do remember is there was one day, it was very slow at the bank. A lot of my coworkers, other tellers, had gone into the break room, and it was just myself and another teller. I'll say her name was Abby. Abby was sitting to the right of me, and we're just there, just sitting quietly, talking, and all of a sudden, I knew something was gonna happen. I had this stirring in my spirit. It was like it was a feeling, it was like a tugging, like something bad is going to happen. And I looked at her and I said, Abby, oh my gosh. I didn't say, oh my God. I said, oh, something else, expletive. Something's about to go down. And she just looked at me like, what are you talking about? My husband just called. I don't even know what I was saying anymore. Okay. Anyway, I just had this feeling that something bad was going to happen. Like I felt it, like, hey, pay attention. Something bad is going to happen. And so I looked at her and I was like, oh, something's about to go down. And she looked at me like, what are you talking about? Like, she just looked at me like, are you crazy? What's going on? And as soon as I said that to her, like I looked at her, I said, something's about to go down. And I just looked forward and I was just waiting. There was nobody in our lobby. There was no other customers or anything. And probably maybe 10, 20 seconds later, this man, I could see him on the outside of the windows. He walks up to the doors of the bank, and then he walks in through the front door, through the vestibule, through the doors. Why am I being complicated? He walks in. He had a hoodie on with a hood up. I want to say he had like glasses on. I don't even really know what this man looked like. At the time, I feel like anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. He wasn't wearing like a mask or anything. And he had his hands in his pocket. And he walked right up to me, stood in front of me, and then he passed the note. I looked down at the note. I grabbed it at the edges, and it said, and it's not unusual for customers to give you a note, like they pass the note through of like maybe how they want their bills broken up and stuff like that. So that's not weird, but the actual, like, it was a note. It was said, give me all the money and nobody's gonna get hurt. I think that's what it's, something like along those lines. I don't remember exactly. And when I read it, my first thought was, he doesn't have a weapon. He doesn't have a gun. He does have his hands in his pocket, but he doesn't have anything. I don't have to listen to this man. I pushed the panic button and I was going to just lock up my drawer and duck down. And then just like before, where I had this like something bad is going to happen, I had a vision of the man going to one of my coworkers. I'll say his name is James. He walked up to James and shot James. And I saw it. I saw him shoot James. I saw the blood. I saw him on the floor. And it was a vision. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to give this man something to get him out of here. He has a gun in his pocket. That's just what went through my mind. This man has a gun in his pocket, even though I think it might just be his hand, but it's a gun, and he's going to shoot my coworker if I don't give him anything. And these were the bankers on the outside. They're not behind bulletproof glass, so he could easily shoot one of them or one of the other customers who was sitting with the bankers. Anyway, so I give him like $2 bills and fives and I stick them in a bag and I zip it up and just pass it back to him. I keep the notes and I just sit down. I didn't know what to do. I was so panicked. I was freaked out. Within a couple minutes after he left, my manager went and locked the doors behind him. And within a few minutes, the police was there, and then the FBI was there, detectives. It was like a whole thing. They interviewed us. Eventually, they did catch the gentleman. They wanted me to testify, but he ended up, I think, plea bargaining, taking a plea, and then that was it. But there were two major things that happened in that moment. Because of that experience, I became very aware of the Holy Spirit. I became very aware of God and his protection over me. Upon reflection, I've realized that there is a plan that God has for my life, and he's shown up in very real ways for me to keep me safe, to guide me, to make sure I stay in line with what he has planned for me. I feel like there is a call upon my life, and that was just one instance where there was I have no way of explaining that away. And it was just very real. The other thing that came out of that was anxiety, panic attacks, feeling very uncomfortable at work, feeling very vulnerable. And because even when that happened, my boss didn't even pull me aside. I felt hurt. He didn't pull me aside. He didn't talk to me. He was like, okay, back to work. And then I had to tell him, I have to leave. I have to go home. That was a lot. And knowing what I know now, I wish instead of trying to work through all of that, I wish I had leaned into God. I wish I had sought him out. I wish I had been reading my Bible. I wish I had reached out to a counselor, like a Christian counselor or a pastor at my church, to just walk me through what I had experienced and help me see that, yes, it was a scary thing that happened and it could have been much worse, but it was also a very real encounter with the Holy Spirit. It was a way where God had shown me that he loves me and he cares for me and he wants to protect me and those around me. And now, almost, I don't know, this is probably 7 years later, 6, 7 years later. Now I'm understanding that. Now I see his divine protection over me. Now I see him speaking loudly so I could hear, so I could be prepared, so I could know what to do. I just wish at the moment I had leaned into that. So I guess I want to use this video as a way to encourage people to hear God, to listen for God, to seek him so that we can recognize when he is speaking to us, and also to know how to respond afterwards. Do we lean in or do we run away? Which is what I did. I ran away. I tried to do things in my capacity, in my understanding, and I wish I had leaned in. I wish I had kept seeking him and listening for him to keep talking, which he did, but I know now I would handle it differently, I think. But yeah. I just wanted to share that. I hope this story blesses you. I hope it helps you see God in your day-to-day ordinary life and see that he is still there. He's still alive. He's still very present, and he loves us. He cares for us, and he wants to show up for us in real ways, in tangible ways. I don't know. I think that's all I have. I hope y'all have a lovely day. Thank you so much for listening. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and like this video, and please share if it blessed you. Share it to bless others. Thank you so much. Bye.